If you are trying to make use of your time more efficiently, or you just want to study for longer periods, this is the perfect hack for you. You can study longer than your willpower allows you to. This is the Pomodoro hack, and it is something that you will end up using in your future career if you follow this channel. So, let's get into it. The key to getting work done faster, whether it's studying or any other type of work, is to not waste any time during your work sessions. The Pomodoro Technique is great at minimizing wasted time. However, it has its own issues when it comes to procrastination and burning out. The Pomodoro Technique is an effective method that helps you focus by forcing 5-minute breaks every 25 minutes. It works like this. You sit down with your task and work until you need to take a break. When your timer goes off, you put your pen down and do whatever you want for 5 minutes. After that, you go back to work and repeat the process. When using the Pomodoro Technique, you should only do one task at a time and don't move on to another task, unless the first one is finished. Of course, there are many other ways to structure your breaks and study sessions, but this is the most efficient way to use the Pomodoro Technique. That being said, the Pomodoro Technique isn't perfect. It actually causes some serious issues when you try to apply it to your work. First issue is the reason why you're here: burnout. We all experience burnout eventually. It's bound to happen if you push yourself too hard. A Pomodoro session can sometimes last way too long and cause you to experience burnout because of how focused you are being. The longer you work, the lower quality your work becomes. At some point, you won't be able to maintain the same level of concentration and productivity. As the day goes on, you might start making more mistakes, or your work might start lacking quality. Eventually, you will reach a breaking point where you just can't work anymore. Burnout happens because you haven't given your brain enough time to recover. It's essentially exhaustion of the mind. When you don't take care of your mind, it will burn out just like your body would after strenuous exercise. Another issue with the traditional Pomodoro technique is that it doesn't teach you how to deal with procrastination. Instead, it gives you a strict structure and expects you to follow it. But what happens when you get distracted? What happens when you take a break and you just can't go back to work? Well, according to the Pomodoro technique, you just have to force yourself to go back to work. They expect you to power through no matter what. But this isn't possible all the time. Sometimes you just can't force yourself to go back to work. The Pomodoro technique doesn't address this issue. So, when this happens, you have no idea what to do. I've combined the best parts of the Pomodoro technique with the latest scientific discoveries on how to maximize focus and productivity. Here's how it works. We'll start by increasing the length of your work sessions. Instead of forcing 25-minute Pomodoros, we will increase that to 45 minutes. Why 45 minutes? Because that is the optimal amount of time you can focus before needing a break. According to science, our brains function best when working in 90-minute cycles. These cycles allow us to fully focus on the task in hand without becoming distracted. By extending the Pomodoro sessions to 45 minutes, you'll be able to take advantage of these ultradian rhythms. Ultradian rhythms are natural cycles in our brains that help us focus. The brain needs around 90 minutes to complete a cycle. Therefore, when you work for 45 minutes, you will be able to finish one full cycle before taking a break. Working like this is much easier than working in 25-minute intervals. Because your brain is always working towards completing a cycle, it is much easier to push yourself for 45 minutes than it is to push yourself for 25 minutes. That being said, there will still be times when you need to take a break from studying or working. In those cases, you can simply use the 5-minute rule. This means that if you find yourself not being productive for 5 minutes straight, you should take a short break. So the Pomodoro hack is pretty simple. You're going to work for 45 minutes and then you're going to take a break. However, if you find yourself not being productive for 5 minutes straight, you're going to take a short break. So now you know the basic framework. Let's discuss how to optimize each part of the Pomodoro hack. First is the length of your work sessions. We know that you should work for 45 minutes, but how long should your breaks be? The answer is that it depends. If you need to take a break because of the 5-minute rule, then your break should be no longer than 5 minutes. On the other hand, if you're taking a break because you finished a 45-minute session, then your break can be much longer. The optimal length of a long break is between 15 to 30 minutes. Taking a break for 15 to 30 minutes allows you to relax and recharge for your next work session. Any longer than that and you'll start to feel lazy. Any shorter than that and you won't be able to fully relax. It's important to note that the Pomodoro hack isn't about taking more or less frequent breaks. It's about taking better breaks. Too often we spend our breaks scrolling on social media or watching YouTube videos. Doing these activities right before a work session can cause you to lose motivation and make it harder to get back to work. That's why it's important to use your breaks effectively. You can do things like reading a book, listening to music, or meditating. These activities will help you relax and recharge so you can get the most out of your work sessions. A big problem with the Pomodoro technique is that it forces you to work nonstop. There's no room for mistakes or distractions. The Pomodoro hack fixes this by allowing you to take a break whenever you need to. Of course, it's important to take breaks when you need to. This allows you to clear your head and come back to work refreshed. For example, if you find yourself daydreaming while working, you should take a break. Don't try to push through it. Daydreaming is a sign that your brain needs a break. Taking a break will allow you to focus better on your next work session. The Pomodoro hack allows you to be flexible with your work schedule. It takes into account the fact that distractions and mistakes are inevitable. That makes it much easier to stay focused and productive. Here's a few extra tips to remember. It's important to set realistic goals for yourself. Don't try to do too much in a single work session. It's better to take more frequent breaks than to push yourself too hard. Take advantage of your peak focus times. Everyone has different peak focus times. Some people focus best in the morning, while others focus best at night. Try to schedule your work sessions around your peak focus times. This will allow you to get the most out of each work session. Use a timer to keep track of your work sessions. This is important because it will help you stay focused. Knowing that you only have 45 minutes to complete a task can help you focus better. Also, don't forget to take breaks. It's important to take breaks, even if you think you don't need them. Taking breaks will help you stay focused and productive in the long run. The Pomodoro hack is a great way to improve your focus and productivity. It's a flexible approach that takes into account the fact that distractions and mistakes are inevitable. By following the tips in this video, you can get the most out of the Pomodoro hack and start seeing results. Thanks for watching and good luck!